Hello fellas, welcome to a review on Front Rank's 28mm French line infantry. I've been obviously painting a few of these recently, and obviously I've done a bit of a show and tell on them, although none of them are completely finished. I said I'd wait to get this little mini tripod thing for my video camera so I can get some better close-ups and do some tutorials. So I thought, well, to kick the ball rolling or start the ball rolling even, just to give see if this is actually working, I'd do a quick review on these front ranks, if that's okay with you guys. Usual disclaimer: I've got no, attachment to front rank. They haven't given me any of these figures or anything. These are just those that I've bought myself. I always think that's the best way to do a review. And if I say anything good, bad, whatever, it's my money's gone into them. So here we go. This is a sapper, or sapeur, depending on what you call them in French. I did think of trying to put some wash on them, or primer, but I've got a couple of painted examples at the back, so although they're not the same figures, you'll get the idea if anybody stumbled across these, this review. Let me just see. This isn't going to be as easy as I first thought. So let's get something to point with. The stirring stick. As you can see, there's very little flash on these. I know the lights are probably making all the metal shine, which is why I did think, this is again when you do things off the cuff, and no re-editing or anything like that, things tend to go awry. But let me see if I put my hand behind it if that's any better. What I've always loved about front rank is the facial details. You can. All right, this one's got a beard, but you can put some. Whether you decide to do a wash or whether you do it like me, just go for a darker skin tone, so that the eyes, the creases around the eyes and the nose and that show up. But I'll go into that how I do mine anyway in a later how-to type video. But there's hardly any worms on them. You occasionally, I got the drummer that I've showed earlier on in another video. Around the drum there was some worms sticking out on that, but nothing that got you grinding your teeth, having to clean it. With all these, you'll usually get the odd mould line on the arm or down the leg or something, wherever obviously wherever you've comes out in the mould. But there's nothing, you're not carving chunks out of them. You probably have to put if you've got like I use like an engineering flat file to do the bases. You can see there's bits of clag there. And I just put a flat file on the desk and just give the bases a quick rub over a couple of times. That usually does it. So that's a French sapeur. I'm wondering what I'm going to use him with yet. I bought a couple of these. So there's a bit of a worm there on the scabbard there, but again that's nothing. I might do like a command stand with these at some stage, just a freestanding command stand. So there's a sapper, and this is a Grenadier Fifer. I think again I bought a couple of these. If there's like what I call standalone figures, I'll stick one of these the next with my front ranks, and this isn't an advert, but I tend to just stick them on eBay or on my blog or on Facebook and sell them from there. I haven't got the money myself or the time to put a huge 28mm Napoleonic army together, so I just paint them, and usually sell them on or paint them for other people. But again, when you get a lovely figure like this, I just enjoy, I get a couple of figures and I'll put one in a unit and then have another one for maybe a standalone vignette with command stand of some type, maybe just for display or putting on the table. But yeah, you'll tend to find, get me a little pointy stick again, you tend to find sometimes the usual Chateau type mould line, very thin there, and usually if they've got a cartridge box, which of course this one doesn't, there's usually one on the cartridge box as well. But again, really got yourself a little diamond file, modelling file, or even a bit of wire wool, something like that, just to clean them off. Now people, I think Lib 240 was saying, you know, he thought the earlier sculpts were a bit static, and that's been you know, people have said that in the past, and I think really to compete, Front Rank brought out these, they call them reinforcement packs. I'm not going to get these out of the bags now, but they're all a bit more different, you know, different hand poses, because you tend to get the same pose. You'll get head swaps, you know, you'll get some with, you know, cap comforters on, some bareheaded, that type of thing, but you tend to get a pose that's in parade order type of thing, and then these guys are in campaign, so they've got the shako covers and things like that. But yeah, these are reinforcement packs. That's one. I think this is a different pack. You can see I've got different shako. Some, you know, some have got open shakos, some covered up. And this is the command stand. Again, you can see there's hardly any flash there at all. I mean, even through the bag. Again, I call these, anybody that's never done naps before and is a bit frightened to get into them, these are real good starter figures, but they're not just starter figures, you know. I mean, I've loved them for years. I just don't get a chance to paint many of them, which I thought, you know, over the next few months I'll stick a few 28mm units up, because I do enjoy them. I say the facial details on this one here, again, you can get, you know, even if you just want to put a wash on for quickness, you'll get a lot of definition out of that face. I mean, look at those trousers, brilliant. I would, you know, highly recommend these guys. Postage, you know, I wish I hadn't got them all out the box a while ago, because they pack them really well. I think Fraser had a problem a while ago with a different company, and the packing on these were absolutely fantastic. Couldn't fault it. Got to me within a couple of weeks. I don't even think it was that. These are the type of horses. Now I can't show you a great deal because I've got no cavalry. like the prat that Gav is, I cocked up on the ordering. As you can see, this guy's already got his shabraku, I think it's called. That's that bit there. Again, you can see a bit of a worm there, and that's very few, but this is a commanding officer. But the horses, again, lovely muscle tone. I've got myself 2 spare horses now, because I got a couple of these mounted commanders. They do one in a shako, one in a bicorn. Usual bits under the belly, but I haven't seen a manufacturer out there that, obviously they've got to come out of a mould, so you've got to have mould line somewhere. But again, you know, get yourself a round diamond file, or file in general. But you know, I like these little modelling diamond files. They're quite sharp. Just don't press down too hard, because they can be quite aggressive. And on the lower, thinner mould lines, you can always get away with a bit of wire walls. So yeah, these are the type of horses you'll get. You know, really nicely sculpted, nicely defined. And just to finish this quick review off, I've shown, you know, these different types before. It's just mainly to show you a couple of, anybody that hasn't seen the videos. That's what they look like with a bit of, see if we can close in on that. I don't want to get too close because you'll see how crap my painting is, but and he hasn't had none of these have had any varnish on them yet. And I've got, I want to put a couple of some of the in the early days, the French companies, a lot of them would have, rather than have the N for Napoleon, you know, in the crown or the eagle, they'd have like diamonds and hearts and that. I've never been able to find anything that says that a particular company had them, so I think you can more or less say whichever company you decide, whether it's the Aurora, you know, the Green Company, whatever, you know, you can put your hearts and diamonds, I would imagine, on any one of them. Probably get away with that. But Yeah, it's always harder. It's always harder with these figures getting the faces underneath the peaks of the shako. So that's that one. We've got Voltigeur. One of Gav's top tips is always put a bit of like showing like the leather work on the soles of the boots. Just you know, finishes off the figure a bit, I think. On whatever figure you're doing, you know, as long as it's got leather soles. So yeah, guys, this is a quick waffle. Well, it's not so quick as it's 10 minutes, so this should be fun loading up. But again, it's more again, I'm sorry we're all guinea pigs here, just testing my different bits of equipment now, but you know, I thought let's kill two birds with one stone. There's not much videos coming up at the moment, so I thought I'd flood YouTube with mine. So thank you very much for stopping by. Again, thank you for all you guys that stop by and take a look, you know, and give it a thumbs up and the subscribe and all that type of thing. I never go out fishing for any of that type of thing, you know. So it's really gratifying to know that people stop by and take a look. You know, I thank you all for that. So, guys, I hope everything goes well with you. Keep looking after those brushes, and they'll look after you. And I will catch you again on another video. Cheers.